Hello guys, how are you? So I decided to make a Toolbox 0.8 walkthrough, and it has a lot of features. So we have a lot of stuff now to cover all features, models for all protocols, different radios, and of course coffee. Thank you very much for supporting, you're awesome. And how they say, without further ado, okay, let's just go through the features of 0.8. So, how do we get configuration? We just short press sys. You will see now many with all models. Of course, the first one is configuration because this is the first thing we have to do. Alright, let's go there. First screen is general. So radio mode, this is just to display properly stick commands and things like that. I may find a way to automate this, but so far set it manually. So new feature, dashboard dim. What is this for? You will see like 70%. Okay. So UI will dim a little bit, dashboard will dim, and you will have better focus on the module opponent. Okay. But let's go back to 30, so you will see better what is going on underneath. RC backlight, you can change to blue or red or get it off. I like green, so I will stay with the green, okay? And there is a new feature, menu on exit. What it does, now it's set to show, so if I press enter, I will still see menu. If I switch this to hide, okay, after pressing exit from module, you will go back to dashboard, the full dashboard with artificial horizon, which is better during flight. But let's go and set it for a while to show, as we will be using many a lot. Okay, so this is the first screen. Now, of course, we have to set what kind of RC link protocol we use. I'm trying to automate this, but so far it's not working super well, so you have to do it manually. So we have D8, D16, CRSF, ELRS, which is, in terms of protocol, it's the same, but it has different sensors. So as you can see, for example, CRSF sends RSSI as percent, while ELRS sends as dBm. So just select proper one to see proper values, okay? And the last one is ghost. We have ELRS, so just press. And now you can see we have RQLY sensor for RC link. There's a small icon that RC link is ELRS now selected, so it's okay. Okay, next one, mobile battery. So this is mainly to show the battery status. Cell minimum level defines the low level of battery. Depends, for example, if you have Lion cells, so Lion batteries, you can go as low as 2.1, 2.2, I don't know. But for LiPo, I think it's reasonable to stay with 3.0. Although, if you fly with these small batteries, you can go, I think, to 2.8 even. But we will stay with 3.0. Okay. Cell max level, this is very important because this is used to count the cells. So if you have normal LiPo, just stay with the 0.1 volts higher than the cell. So if it's normal, set it to 4.3, but if it's HV, set it 4.4. Otherwise, it will not count properly the cell number. No power level. Below this level, no alert will be heard, nothing will go on. I usually set it 2.5, 2.4, quite high. Still, you can see if I start to drop down minimum level, the still no power level will decrease because it has to be lower than minimum level. And now I can present you a new feature, which is going back without the change. So if I press now exit, config will return to previous values. So if you make some mistakes and you will change something, you can go back. Volts, cell alerts. So we have only critical, off, critical, or all, which means critical and low. And you set the threshold here for those small batteries. I can go as low as 3.3 for low and 3.2, maybe even 3.1 for critical. And if you want radio to vibrate, you just set haptic on. Alright, so we have model battery configured. Throttle, it's for throttle limiter over there. It's used mostly for racing, but still you can use it. So you need to set which channel is for throttle first, and limiter input. This is just to tell which control is used to limit input. And another feature, auto sensing. If I change any of sliders, let me change right slider, left slider. I use trim. I have logic set up for trim. So if I push trim, it will be stored. Okay, so we have throttle limiter set. Now VTX configuration. Well, here is quite a lot of settings because it depends how you connect it. So now it's none. The first option is that VTX is connected to FC and set by FC. And this only applies if you have MSP capable firmware. It means Betaflight basically now. And your VTX is connected via smart audio or Trump. So VTX is connected to flight controller. But you can also, this is ELRS, so no other option. We can read VTX in ELRS only through MSP and FC. And the last are indicators. So if you have telemetry, you can switch arm or gyro mode to telemetry and it will be auto sense. Or you can set it on a switch. Let's set it to a switch. Again, auto sensing, now switches only. You can see green light, armed, and of course you can set position, right? Okay, let's leave it with the down position. Of course, you can set it manually, up, mid, down. If you are not sure which is down, which is up, just switch the switch and it will show you. But there are also some options, other options, like not up, not mid, and not down, okay? Or all position. Because you can have different configuration, like my arm is when it's not in the down position, so you can select this. But of course not auto sensing, okay? Alright, but let's go, and we have telemetry, so let's set it to telemetry and gyro mode again. Maybe I'll show you. Of course you can choose a switch. So it's SD, and when you go to acro, just position switch where the mode is, angle, okay, now switch, and let's see, angle, horizon, acro. Even we have no telemetry, now switch is used to display what mode is in. So let's go to configuration. Configuration model remembers when you left, quite convenient. Let's switch it to telemetry. Timer mode, we have two options. First is operating system, which means it will just display whatever timer you will choose. First, second, or third, right? Nothing. Of course, if you press later in the video, I'll show you, if you press reset timer, it will reset system timer anyway. But you can also choose as a toolbox timer mode, which means this is arming timer. You choose which operating system timer you want to use. Let's say timer 3, which is, no, here is timer 1. I'm using timer 1. And then Toolbox will override settings. Once it's armed, it will start timer, stop timer, so you don't have to set anything in timers. You just set it in Toolbox. Alright, page 6 have everything configured. Alright, so we have ELRS whoop ready. And I will connect battery to show you live dashboard. But please pay attention to this small status window, because we have MSP configured. So you will see polling data from FC. First we ask what kind of firmware you have, what version firmware, but then we will be polling VTX to check tables and to get those values from VTX tables, powers, and things like that. Alright, so let's go. Fly me to the moon. Reading VTX, reading table bands, it's fast. Powers, 1, 2, 3, ready. So it's quite quick, but until it's read, you will not see VTX. But now everything was transmitted to Toolbox, so you can see the channel. You can see that we are connected in smart audio, current frequency and power level we are at. Next, you can see that we have arm switch error, and this is very nifty feature because instantly you can see what is going on wrong with my craft. So my arm switch is in the wrong position. Let me pull throttle again a little bit. Now we say throttle and oh, now battery. Pay attention. 3.3, 3.2. It's dying. Sorry. Now it's vibrating. Wow, died. Okay. I have to switch battery. Just a minute. These are very small batteries, so they are dying quite quickly. But we will. And now what you will see, once the VTX tables are read, we will be not reading it again. There is a small proxy file on the SD card. If we already read these settings, it will read this proxy file with tables, not spend time to request this data again and again. Okay, so we have throttle and arm switch. So let's go to, let's say you don't know what is throttle and arm switch, what's going on. So there is an FC arm stops module. You go there. Because it's live, we already see only errors which are thrown. So we have two, throttle channel is too high, lower throttle below min check, right? I think my quad is too close, sorry, I have to, sometimes if the receiver is too close to transmitter, it will drop connection. Okay, so we have throttle, so let's lower throttle. Only arm switch. What is arm switch? Arm switch is in unsafe position. Toggle arm switch to arm. Okay, so let's go to and check. And now no errors. Of course, there is a list, so you can always check other if you are interested. And I've covered in another video. If you don't have live, if you don't have MSP, so you cannot live see what's going on, you have those beeps which tell you what is going on wrong. Throttle, okay. Throttle is one long beep and 3 beeps, short beeps. You can check it pressing now again. What I can show you now is retaining. Let me configure to go back to dashboard. On exit, please hide menu. All right. So now you can see I've disconnected battery, but all the values are still there. Why? Because, for example, there are some glitches in telemetry, so you can have like half a second drop of telemetry, but still we are not losing it. So you can still see, and if something goes wrong, that means usually GPS model, you can still see the last position and things like that. So if I connect again, now the dashboard is a little bit dimmed, so you can still clearly, but it shows telemetry is off. Now telemetry is on, it's bright. Again, I will switch it off. And the dashboard is a little bit dimmed, okay? All right, so let's go through dashboard. Let's connect. So here you have RC link panel. The main indicator is RQLY 100. RSNR, which stands for signal to noise ratio, and RSSI. This icon shows the RC link protocol. 500 first value is RC link protocol speed, so we are now at 500 Hertz. And the lower value is transmitter power. So if I go and change to 100 or 1 watt, it will show here what power we are transmitting, what power model is transmitting. And the last one is icon, telemetry icon. It's not simple on off. It has some threshold to show you telemetry quality. If it goes, I think I've set it below 50% of quality, it will go yellow, and then below 10% it will go red. Okay, so let's go over there. Throttle limiter. As you can see, I can see my throttle position, but also I have configured limiter, so I can limit my throttle input, let's say to 70%, and now I can see all the settings. This is this information, small window. So you can see MSP is still reading FC to check errors, things like that. Thing is, guys, that it works only if it's not armed, because we cannot, mess something while flying. So if I arm, I think I can. Oh, again, battery. So those are very small batteries. Let me change. I have plenty of them. Okay. Angle boot grace. It was booting, so some errors. Let's say arm stops, not errors. Okay. And I will switch this on. So MSP is grayed out. We are not polling MSP now. Yeah, we can fly. Let me show you. Current, it's now a little bit higher. They are changing values. 1S LiPo. Okay, let me disarm. And of course, it has pitch roll and yaw. And this is very convenient, even if you don't have a plane. I have a quad, but if I'm racing in angle mode, you can calibrate to level with angle mode quickly. Okay, again, let's go. All right, so you can see artificial horizon. We have no GPS, so no speed, no above sea level height, things like that. But you can see roll and pitch. And you can see yaw. 0 is position at what craft was power it on. So now it's 0, and now will be 180. The red dot shows heading. Okay. All right. Throttle. We lower, and that's it. And yes. It takes some time to pull this information from FC, so there is a short delay. Okay, last one. And of course on the right, the battery voltage. So this is cell battery voltage. Here is total, same because this is 1S. And capacity, current drawn. And you have a value in amperes here. And cell count. And that's it. You've seen it. It goes yellow when below low and red when critical. Now I can show you also another feature. So if I power off my craft, so it's lost. And we have this telemetry retained. If you long press model button, this will reset everything to 0. So let's say you finish the flight and you want to have another one, just long press and we are zeroed. So if I go again, and this applies also to other modules. Okay, and let's go, for example, to road telemetry. So I want to see telemetry sensor values. And you will see how it works. It's just a viewer, but still it's valuable. So we have different values. I will show you, for example, that it will show you which sensor are not discovered. So maybe you did something wrong in telemetry page, or you don't have this sensor. But here is also a way to check if everything is properly configured in telemetry. Okay, so let's power off. It will dim a little bit. And now if I reset everything, it will go to 0 or none, whatever you say. All right. So this is dashboard. Oh, maybe one thing more. I will go up with my threshold. Let's threshold. So let's say that low voltage will be at 3.8. So we start now hearing alarms, and there is another shortcut, short press model, and there is a mute icon. You're not hearing any alerts, whatever it is. Pay attention, because if you switch it off, you will be not warned. But still, there are some cases that you know that something is wrong, and for example, you lost telemetry and below with the warning, and you know what's going on, so you want to switch it off. Okay? All right. Okay, so there's another one. Audio, video, TX. Let's check it. Reading VTX, everything is okay, so we can go to video TX. Maybe I will start from the scratch, no telemetry, and we reset. As you can see, nothing visible, and we plug the craft. Sorry, you have plane, I have quad. And you will see once connected that it's reading API, UID, and reading FC status. Let me check. Reading VTX. Okay. And now we have everything configured. So you can see if VTX is setable, everything is properly configured. This selection marker will be yellow. Let me plug If it will be gray, it means, of course, that it's okay, but you cannot set because something is wrong. There is no connection. There is no connection with the quad firmware type. And now it goes yellow. So you can see we are connected via MSP, so it knows it's beta flight 4.3, and we are using Smart Audio 2.0. You know how to select, just scroll. Just to recall you, the long press tele brings this band lock, so you want to select just from the one band. With short press of tele, you can switch the band you want to use, right? If you want to go off this mode, long press tele again, and you are able to select all channels. So here is this frequency, all frequencies. You can see where are you positioned, like this green dot is currently selected, and this yellow marker is what is a new position in the whole band. Here is a currently selected channel and new we want to select, and here is the difference in megahertz from those two. So you can see around 20 is minimum, not to interfere with someone else, right? So you can see, for example, if I have, let's say someone is flying F4, can I fly A4? No, it's red, +6 only. I will surely interfere. F5 is +20, A3, voila, but not those very close channels, right? Okay. Oh, lost telemetry. Quad is too close. Okay, another one is power level, because you can change the also power levels. And to change, you press short press model, so it will go to the next value. Of course, if there is no yellow marker, it means selected is current, so no change. So let's change, for example, to R8 and 100 milliwatts of VTX power. New channel will start to bring, it's fast. So now it's on R8. You have to believe me, I don't have preview. So to go back to 25, I will set it to 25. I will not change the channels, so only power will be changed. If I don't change the power but change channel, only channel will be okay. I want to just select another R band channel, so band lock R2. Blinking, it's set to R2. Okay, page will switch the view mode, because we can have a so-called table. So you will see all frequencies with a different layout. Let me switch off band lock. And as you can see, so certain channels are not available. You cannot select them. To switch channel, you scroll. Again, tele will switch the band. Okay. And of course, if there is a channel you cannot select because it's not in the table, it will be skipped. If pit mode is enabled, it will go here, pit indicator will go red. But I will show you this with the Ghost Quad. Alright, so there's another one module here. It's called sticks commands. So you can see when the craft is disarmed, you can issue this stick command, and for example, I'm using a lot changing pit profile through the sticks. So I have my radio in mode 2. So to set to pit, I have to go with the left stick on the left bottom position, and then if I go left, pit profile 1, pit profile 2, pit profile 3. So I can see this scrolling, of course, through options. And here, if you press page, it will temporarily switch the radio mode. For example, you've got a friend, buddy, flying buddy, and he says, hey, how to issue command by my radio is in mode 1. So you can go to patch backward. Combination is different in different modes. You will see it changes. And it changes completely. I would not remember this for sure. So you have this helper to check. Of course, if you change the radio mode here, you will go back to menu and then go back. It will start with your default radio mode set in configuration.
Okay, guys, so last topic I would like to cover is new features connected with GPS. But the weather here in Poland is very lousy, so I will present it some of them on simulator. I've prepared some dummy data, so you will see. So this is how it looks when there is no telemetry. If you short press tele, this window will be switched to satellite view. Again, it will go back to compass. Okay, let's switch telemetry. So now we have some GPS data. As you can see on compass, the source is GPS, red dot heading, and numeric heading over there. In satellite view, you will see how many satellites are fixed. Of course, during this fixing time, there will be nothing until I think 4 or 5 satellites. Home position will be set with the first arm, and here is your craft position, right? So how it works? Okay, so let's arm to see what is changing. Let's change to compass, and once I arm, there will be a green dot showing. So red dot is your heading, while green dot is bearing home. So if those two dots are aligned, you are on the course home, right? On the other hand, on the satellite view, you will now see the home position. And as you can see, when I'm in compass position, on the top of artificial horizon, you will see distance from home, but when you switch to satellite, it will show you ground course because you will see distance from home here. Okay, so let's switch back to compass and let's change a little bit position. I will simulate position. Okay, 100 meters from home. As you can see, there's a little icon home, so it's in the angle of 90 degrees. Your home point is in the angle of 90 degrees. Let's bring it close to home. As you can see, green dot is aligning. Now we are on the home course. And you can see this also in this view, because if I start to change something, the arrow will point, okay, will start to point. This arrow, black arrow, will show you your course. So if it's pointing home, it means you are flying home. Let me change it a little bit. It's quite hard because I'm changing longitude and latitude. Now you can see just a triangle showing you direction. You have to turn to be on the home course. Okay, so now we are turning, and this arrow will show you that now we are pointing opposite. Our course is opposite to home course. Let's change once again. You will see this, and when I will be turning, now we are flying from home, right? Okay, and here is a module, GPS module. So let's press this, GPS. As you can see, node 3D fix, no data yet. So let's go with the telemetry simulation. And I'm not armed. Sorry for this blinking, but this is simulator. What you can see here is a list of visible satellites. So while we are waiting for fix, you can see how many satellites are on the horizon actually, and the status, if they are locked, if they are not locked, maybe they are not usable, things like that. Here are just information about craft position, of course, when they are fixed, and in the bottom there is a home data, but they are set with the first arm. So let me arm. Now you can see position. Of course, this is simulator, that's why it's 0. Let me change a little position with the simulator, and we go back to GPS, and now you will see distance from home and ground course. Let's change home course, and then yes, you will see course, ground course of your craft, and course you need to take to go back home, and of course distance from home. Okay, so this is newest one. This list of GPS visible satellites is not working yet 100%. Why? Because there are some bugs in Betaflight MSP, but I'm talking to Betaflight guys, and most probably in final version it will work properly. All right, so this is new GPS model. Hope long-range guys will be delighted.
And of course, about where you can see, except who is an author, of course, you can see what version you have installed. So if you submit something or say, hey, it doesn't work, just check what version you have, because otherwise it's very hard to troubleshoot. Okay, let's change protocol module. Remember, don't do it at home. I'm living on the edge, just always changing modules, power down radio. The protocol, let's start from the RC link. This is tracer, power transmit level is 25. Now I can show you with the new user interface we are starting to operate like in phone. So I can go back to my dashboard, then go with the full screen with the TBS Agent Light, and now I have application to configure quickly. So let me go to MicroTX radio settings. Dynamic power is on, so let me switch off dynamic power, and so the power will be 100 milliwatts. Long press, we go back to Toolbox, and now you can see the transmitter power is shown 100. Okay, what else is changed? Of course, pitch and roll is aviable, so you can see, and yaw is also aviable. No GPS, so it's just yaw position from gyro. And that's it. The change is in VTX. So if I go to configuration, I have VTX connected to receiver, not to flight controller. So it's Toolbox is checking directly CRSF protocol VTX status. And let's go to VTX settings. VTX is connected, that is TBS VTX, so it's connected directly to receiver. And here is a type. You can choose different types. It's usually used to display properly power levels, nothing else. 69. I have Unify Pro 32 nano. Okay, so this is the change. Waiting, and you will see now. Let me change it again. Okay, 69. Waiting for. R means the information is from receiver, and V means that information is directly from VTX. It's because if VTX is off in CRSF, there are still some information stored in the receiver, so you can see what was the last settings. This small letter will tell you what is the source of your VTX data. Should be V. Of course, MSP is working. As you can see, MSP is working, right? It's still pulling the flight controller status. But VTX is connected directly to receiver. So, sorry. Let me go again to configuration. So, of course, I can choose FC. Okay. It will pull this data because I've set VTX tables in beta flight. But if I go to video VTX, you will not be able to change it. It says it's Smart Audio 2.1, but you will not be able to change the channel or power because VTX is not connected to FC, so it doesn't recognize it. Okay. Let's go to another protocol, which is Ghost. So let me quickly change again model. Now we are going to Ghost. Another quad. This one is with GPS, but we are inside, so we will not see. Last value, you can reset it. But of course we'll be switching models, so it's not needed. Long press, so go back to a system, long press model to select, and let's select Ghost Squad. Okay. Toolbox is starting. Protocol off, which means Toolbox is not configured. Protocol in Toolbox is not configured. We have our model running. Okay, let's connect. No props, so a little bit safer. Okay. And let's go full screen. It's not configured, so we have to configure. Gyro mode switch is not configured, MSP protocol is not configured, and RC link is not configured because you cannot see icon of telemetry protocol, RC link protocol, sorry. So let's go to configuration and quickly let's go to quickly configure Ghost. Now it's set and you can see values. Oh, I can see no icon showing. This will be in RC3, small bug. And once you reboot radio, it will show, of course. Check votes, arts. Let's say it will be 3.6. Not to bother us now. Limiter input, of course, trim 3 as always, and VTX. And again, you have two options. First one is FC, which means we are using MSP. For older models, I think Trump connected via Trump or Ghost hybrid. It's combined RX with VTX. Instantly you can see data from VTX. Now T says because in Ghost protocol the VTX parameters are stored in the module. You can see now I've shown it. Let's change, for example, let's change to 25 and channel 5 and send. And once I send, bam, it shows it's not in low power mode anymore and it shows proper values. Okay, but let's switch it off to 0 because it will not overheat, and let's go to channel 8 raise band, send. MSP is still available. You have 0.6 plus or higher. So you can see if I lower, or arm stops are red. Okay, gyro mode switch is not configured. And you can see now differences between different protocols. For example, in GOS, we have not flight mode sensor. So even I go to telemetry and I say, okay, show me arm and gyro mode based on actual craft status, I display, sorry, flight mode sensor is not available in Ghost. I've talked to you guys, they may implement this. As you can see, artificial horizon is not working because pitch and roll and yaw sensor are also not implemented. So sorry. I think Ghost is mainly focused on the racer, so they don't need it much, right? But anyway, it would be nice to have it. But of course, if there is a situation you don't have the sensor, flight mode sensor, you still can configure this on the switch. So let's go with the switch and let's say, okay, it will be SG down, then gyro mode, and it will be SD. I used to use SD, so acro will be up, horizon will be mid, and angle will be down. Okay. I have visual confirmation that my switch is in arm position, right? Or my flight mode is certain position, but you can see it still, right? Timer is not running even in its arm because in configuration, Toolbox configuration, it is set to be controlled by operating system and nothing is configured over there. If I switch this to Toolbox, so once the Toolbox is controlling timer, you will see timer running. And we can reset once the flight is done. So let's go to and select D16. Whoop. Protocol is not configured. Let's quick configure it. And it's D16. So it will be very basic. As you can see, just RSSI, not much else information with this protocol. If you have VTX like I have here, you can try to set it to read via MSP. But frankly speaking, it's not working well. And this is mainly because of speed of RC link. It's working with, I think, 100 Hertz, not even 100 Hertz, like 50 Hertz, with the very small packets, and it takes ages to read something, so it's there, but it's not working very well. Maybe with the newer, once I have FrSky equipment and with the access or something, maybe the speed is a little bit better, so it will work better. But still, there are some sensors for pitch and roll, but I have to check which one. There's a heading, so you see the yaw. Once I will check what sensors, because they are not pitch and roll sensor. They are named differently. Once I check which one are for roll and pitch, I will implement artificial horizon here. This is the legacy. Oops. The battery is very low. This is legacy for FrSky D8 and D16 protocols. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about widgets. And then you can set up something, you choose layout. I have 1+1 and you select widget. And there are widgets, of course, other widgets too, but there is the toolbox. You select toolbox. You say, okay, it will be position it wherever you want. Let's say it will be like 60 and here 40. Okay, and it's set. Okay. Application is not running. This is just like an icon on the phone, right? You can start application now. So if I long press and select full screen, it will go to application. Long press will go back to your system. But of course you can have kind of preview, and let me set it with the settings, preview. Okay, so now application is loaded in the background, it's running constantly. Of course it will pull only telemetry, not to kill the system with the resources, not to affect efficiency. Let's power on quad. I have to be careful. I'm lazy. I still have my props. So let me check arm. It's disarmed. Okay. Throttle is high. So it won't be. Alright. So now you can see quad is confirmed. There are new devices in Agent. Discover it, and you have some kind of preview. So it's configured, protocol is crossfire, telemetry is we are receiving telemetry on, and there are some arm stops. We don't know yet which ones, but we can check. It's disarmed, RC link is 100, and cell voltage is quite nice, 3.8. Alright, so let's long press and full screen. And we are in dashboard. Okay, let me show you another one. If the layout is not full screen, it will show preview. But if we go like my fifth screen, it's set to full screen. You will select it full screen. Okay, just switch off top bar, sliders, trims, everything, and set up widget, and then again select it. It doesn't matter now, settings are not applicable now. You just press to close them, and now we have on the fifth screen we will have our toolbox in full screen mode. With all the changes to HTX operating system, we have much more user-friendly interface now. In fact, when we started 2021, I wrote a short document describing what changes we need to make user experience more user-friendly. And one of them is that dashboard, or main view as it's called in HTX. It's now like, views on the phone, so you can have different elements. On the first screen I have my toolbox icon and TBS Agent icon that serves me as a shortcut. So if I long press and go full screen in the application, I can go full screen with TBS Agent. Okay, I got application. On the next screen I have my clock, nice clock. You can see it's now 23rd of December and it's around 8 AM here in Poland, and 3 timers set. On the next screen I have my channel widget that shows 4 first channels here, so you can check, and the rest on the left. These are auxes, so I can check quickly what's going on. My inputs, rates, working, buzzer, yes, and it's switching 2 channels because I've got this set up in logic switches. And I can have different application on other screen. As you can see, here is an toolbox in the full screen mode, but previous screen, this is ELRST widget. So kind of desktops, you can place things and your flying tools and then quickly access them. Okay, kind of arm stops, so I can go to the main view with the full screen to see what's going on. Throttle, okay, throttle is high. Now it's okay. And this lock screen is because you cannot receive any events, key events. We are still in the system, operating system mode. So this is kind of view mode. You need to go full screen. The lock icon is gone, and now we can operate, right? If you want to go back to system, operating system, you just long press exit, and now icon is back. We are in operating system. Okay, so widget is cool because if I start, let's go to a full screen. I hope in the next HTX we will have double tap. It will be much quicker to open application. So now I want to configure something, and for example I want to check switch commands, and once I go back with the exit, I'm in the system now, but widget retains state, so it's always in a state you left it, right? So I need to go full screen. Lock icon is not visible when module is opened, so I have to think how to show it maybe a little bit differently. But anyway, in HTX 2.8 there is a cool feature that lets you switch main views using switches. There are basically 5 main views, so it was very obvious for me that I used the 6 position switch. So have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can quickly switch between them, right? Let's go. Okay, once you switch the quad, and the beauty of that is that once you switch the quad, everything will start. You don't need to configure anything. So let's say I want to change to CRSF quad, select model. Yes, I know it's still connected. Don't worry, I know what to do. It's here, same protocol, because CRSF is same protocol, but as you can see, I've got my warnings at 3.6, so it's beeping. And to show you another example, with the CRSF model, I have configured on the full screen. One of the main views is a full screen TBS Agent Light. I can quickly switch between different applications like TBS Agent, my Toolbox, channel, preview, timing, and that's it. Okay, once again, battery is dying.